Good evening, folks. So I've had several messages, emails about paper 3. So first of all, just looking at section B, remember it's 2 scenarios and an essay, no choice on the essay, but you do get a choice on the scenarios. So you either do 5, 6 and 7 or 8, 9 and 10. Now the format is exactly the same, 20 marks, 8 marks is AO1, 12 marks application for the scenario and 12 for the essay. So please write out your AO1 first. It's so much easier for you, for the examiner. You get it down on paper and then you get 8 marks in the bag. So that's the first thing I would say is scenarios, essays, nothing different. Now, section A is tricky. It is, well, I don't know. I don't examine on paper 3. I think it'd be really interesting to find out how they actually mark section A. So section A, you will get a choice out of 2. I'm predicting Law and Society will be on there because it wasn't last year, but who knows? I don't know this. So same rules in that you get 8 for AO1 and then you get 12 for AO2. Now, you can write out the AO1 first. So, for example, if it was law and justice, I would define justice. I'd give definitions that have been given that you've got in your notes. I would then I'd mention the fact that there are 4 types of justice and I would explain what they are. Just kind of pure explanation. So procedural justice means that there's fairness in the actual legal procedure and the way that from arrest until conviction there is justice, or something along those lines. And you've got all of this in your notes. Then for using justice as an example for the evaluation, it's going to be something like, does the law achieve justice? Is it possible to achieve justice? And you just have to use examples from the entire 2 years of your course to say, yeah, actually, this case achieves justice, or this situation achieves justice. Look, the fact that you are entitled to a duty solicitor for free at the police station, that definitely achieves justice. That's procedural justice. That allows you free legal advice. It's a fundamental part of the European Convention on Human Rights. Get some rule of law stuff in there. So that's, I think, what a justice essay would look like. Morals, I actually think, is trickier to write. I know everybody really likes law and morals, and it's great, but I would do your AO1 and then, state what law is, what morals are, the difference between the two, what the characteristics are, the overlap, that would all be AO1, positivist theories, natural law theories, just state what they are. Don't evaluate them, just state them. And then in your AO3, then you would say, well, look, this is the conflict between the two. Should the law interfere? And then use cases to back it up. Use Brown. Brown's a brilliant case. Judges, they said consent is not allowed to harmful sexual activity. There's definitely a moral element, and they kind of overlapped laws and morals, whereas Wilson said the law has no place interfering in people's private lives. So things like that. Just use cases, use things that we have talked about over the past 2 years. Law and society. What is the role of law in society? Well, again, you need a few theories, you need a few definitions, you need to talk about, the fact we live in a pluralist society. All of that is AO1, and then kind of link in case examples and say, well, look, some people believe the role of law is to protect society, and then give examples of when it does and when it doesn't protect. Some people believe the role of law is to achieve justice, and that is the most important thing. Again, examples for and against. So law and society is great because you can link in morals and you can link in justice. So I would say, just to kind of summarize, AO1, just make sure you're just stating, what's a law, what's a moral, all that kind of stuff, any theories that we've talked about. And then in your AO3, use all those examples and just keep going back to the question. If it's asking you the role of law in society is to punish, then think about it. What have we looked at? Things that say yes, it is the role of law, and then things that say no, it isn't. But you will be absolutely fine. Okay, you know your stuff, and I have every faith in you. And any last minute questions, please comment below.